Hey guys, here. I'm here to explain the using of the white bars off the 3-minute charts and how to execute that properly. I'm going to give a few examples. I'm not going to go through every one because this video would be very, very long. But, okay, so here's our white bar. The white bar has to complete printing. When it's printed, you put a line on top and a line on bottom. Step 1. You put this line here so on the 24-tick chart you can see where that bar is completed, so you have a reference point. Now, once that bar is completed, what you want is the bar to get underneath. There's 2 places to execute this. One's on top of the white line, up here, and one's on the bottom, but in order to execute it has to close underneath and then go back through. Okay, over here, as it goes back through, it has to form the algo as it goes through. Okay, so as you can see, there's my green line, top and bottom. So we're coming through. This would be trade 1, right there. Here, I'm going to erase these lines. So my first trade would be on the green bar, right here. My entry's on top, my stop's on bottom. And this one went for about 20 points, 25 points before coming back. Okay, comes back down through. Here's entry number 2, this orange bar. Right there. Stop goes at the low. Comes up, comes down, comes up, comes down. You still haven't gotten your second scale off. If you want, you can re-enter if you've exited for some reason on that white bar. That one stretches from roughly 22,853 up to 22,892, roughly 40 points. Okay, comes back through. Just because it goes through does not mean it's an entry. It must be a variation on the green bar. So it must be green, orange, blue, or white. And it has to be an up bar in order to enter the trade. Now, as we go through here, right, you're going to see this becomes the next white bar right here. What do? Well, it's very simple. Just shift over. You can leave this here, but you want to take this bar, put it right at the bottom. Okay? So now, as it's right at the bottom, you have to have a green bar. It has to be in physical contact. Okay? So if I open that up, you can see we simply did not get a green bar up that's in physical contact with that white line. No trade. Market continues to roll over. Now you'll see we get this long period. This is where I'm pointing on the screen so you can see it. And it's going to be a while till we get a white bar. Now you can substitute these green bars up, but for the purpose of this video, let's just stick to the white bars. So the next white bar is right here. Okay, so let's put a vertical line right next to it so we know where it ends. So that's right here. And then the next thing we need is let's just copy the line from up here and put it right down here. Okay, so we already know it didn't get to the top, so we're going to look and see if a green bar passed through here to the right. I'm looking right here through this area right over here, and you can see there was never a green bar up from underneath that touched, and we know that it didn't hit over here. So next, right, I think this is where we end up taking a stop. We're going to shift it right over. I'm going to move this to the bottom right here, and I'm going to put another vertical line there so I know that's where it started. So this technically traded underneath and could have gone long. You got a few points. I would have gotten stopped on that because I would have looked to push it. So we're going to count that as a loss, even though it went up a little bit, which is fine. And you can see that again, going through there, it's got to physically, okay, and then this would be, wow, that came underneath. I'm going to count that as a loss as well. I don't think I would have taken that in that particular situation, because what I wanted to do is come underneath. So the way I wanted to do is I wanted to get a physical close underneath and come back through, right? So but technically that went underneath and came back through, so we'll count that as a loss. Okay, now I'm going to keep going over here, and I'm just going to keep moving this since we know we're in a, so first of all, you already know you're in a free fall trying to go long, right? So next here, and here, and you will see as we go to the right, you then immediately get another white bar right behind it. So we're going to copy it and we're going to go like this. So we'll make the adjustment. It would now look like this. And we would adjust so that we would put this here. Move this. Now, the money trade here is as it comes through, always comes to the top of the bar is the better trade than the one that comes from the bottom, but I'll take both, right? So now I'm going to be right here. Right there. So as you'll see, this bar doesn't get taken because it would have been like right on the spot unless you were just Johnny on the spot and grabbed it. The first trade I would have taken here, actually this is pretty clear in this situation. I would have taken a loss right here. Oh, where's my arrow? That's a loss. Clearly touched the top. Okay. And then this is my next long. Right here. So the difference between these two is this one's about, let's call this a 18-point stop, right? $360 a contract. That trade right there, you take it from 23,523, which we did grab this one in the room, and you get it all the way up to 23,623, 100 points. So when you look at that series through there, oh wait, and there's a kicker to that, right? See how that one stopped? Here's your next entry right here. If that stopped, and it might have because it wicked just underneath, you take the second one again as it's going through the top of that line. So that's trade one, that's stack two, and that's your home run, right? And then you don't take this too far away, right? We've moved away from it. Now, as you're going through later in the day, you'll see we set up, I'm going to skip a few, right? So again, you can see this white bar here. So the reason why the top of those bars, let me step back for a second. The reason the top of the bar is more valuable than the second part of the bar is the breakout comes from the top part of the bar. What you're trying to do on the bottom is either just add some points or set it up so you can stack the trade, okay? But if you really want the bars that are just going to blow out to the upside, it's always the top bars that have the opportunity to really accelerate and go because the shorts are going to cover right there. Here at the bottom, the shorts don't have to cover. At the top, they are motivated to cover because you're usually breaking the swing when you break the top of that white bar. Okay, and then the last trade I want to show you, I'm not going to go through every one of them. If you're in the room, you have the algo on your desktop, you can go set it up. But I want to show you here at the low of the day. Was that the low at 10 o'clock? Yeah, it was. Okay, so as we came into the low at 9:57, you can see we went into balance the rest of the day there. But as you look through this day, what you'll see is as you got to the low, this trade, your entry would have been right here, roughly 23,560, and for the swing, you were able to push it all the way up to 23,680. Is that right? 23,700. Right? So to be able to take it all the way from 23,560 roughly to 23,700, that's just an amazing opportunity for P&L, right? And then you'll see along the way, you can just visually see it, right? From the bottom, get underneath, trap back in. This top push but didn't accelerate, right? So it got choppy through here. But eventually it's going to come through here and really accelerate away to the top. So what this is doing is giving you a way to swing the trade, control the risk, and get the P&L. So anyways, that's the explanation of the 3-minute bars. The top is better than the bottom, but I like them both, and I think they both give you good opportunities to make very, very good trades. And this was on a hard down day. Just to give you reference, most days it looks more like this, right? Where we open up, we get the white bar. This is 7:30, so here, this is 8:30, white bar, bottom of the white bar, top of the white bar, right? And you will see as it's coming through, on the bottom gives you opportunity for acceleration, but then off the top on that white bar, acceleration away, back in, acceleration away, back in, acceleration away, and really gives you really large P&L opportunities. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Hope you all have a great weekend. I will talk to you later, guys, and there'll be more out over the weekend with regards to the Trader Assist using the white bars. So difficult day, and we pulled it out really nicely. So that's cool. Talk to you later, guys.